everyone, welcome to the Pretty Life Girls channel. We're so glad that you're here. Today we're going to show you how to make two different macrame Christmas ornaments. My name is Liz, I'm one of the Pretty Life Girls. We're so glad you're here. Macrame is one of our favorite ways to decorate the Christmas tree. It's earthy and organic looking and anyone can do it. It's just tying knots. You're going to love these ornaments. But first, before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and if there's any projects you want us to make, be sure and leave us a comment. We would love to make something that you are interested in. So let's get started making some macrame. Here are the supplies that you'll need for this project. All of these can be found at Michael's stores. You'll need some clear bulb ornaments. I chose plastic ones. You'll need macrame cord. This is a 3mm cord. You can adjust your weight depending on the size of your bulbs or the effect that you want. You can go thinner or thicker. Measuring tape so that you can measure the length of your cord, some scissors to cut them, and then I'm going to show you a way to dress them up toward the end of the video where you can add paint to the inside and shake them up. To do that, I use Folk Art multi-surface craft paint, which you can get at Michael's. It sticks to the bulbs so well. So I really like to do this brand if you're going to do paint shaking ornaments. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different ways to do macrame ornaments. The first is going to be with a square knot. So what you'll need to do for that, I'm going to slide these over to the side. And you're going to cut 8 36-inch lengths of macrame cord. So an easy way to do that is just take your measuring tape, set it at 36, and then measure 1, cut it. Then if you want to put your measuring tape away and just use the one you just cut as a guide for the rest of them, you can do that. And if your bulbs seem bigger than my bulbs, you can adjust the length if you'd like. If they're smaller, you can keep the same length because you can just trim. But if they seem a little bit bigger, you may want to do a little more cord. It doesn't say on these bulbs how big they are. I'm not sure, but maybe I can look on the Michael's website and I'll put it in the notes below if you're wondering specifically how big those bulbs are. One more. So 8 36-inch lengths of cord. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So I'm going to move all of this out of the way. Now, if you've done macrame before, then you probably know the knot names. The first one we're going to do is a lark's head knot, which is a really standard knot for macrame. So you'll take one of your lengths of yarn or cord, and that's going to be your main piece of cord. Then you'll take another one, and you're going to fold it in half, like that. Then you're going to put your loop over the top like this. Then take your ends and put them through the loop like that and pull. And you'll have a knot that looks like that. And that's your lark's head knot. So you'll repeat that with all of your lengths of string. So I'll do it for you 8 more times. So I lay my loop over the top. Then I take my pieces under the straight string and through the loop like that and pull. And then I'm just going to kind of slide it over. It doesn't have to be too tight yet at this point because you are going to do some adjusting once you get them on the bulbs. So don't worry about them being too tight or too loose. See that? Pull it, slide it over. you have 7 lark's head knots here. And what you're going to do is take your ornament and wrap your string around the top of your ornament. You're going to pull it tight like that, and then tie off a knot on those ends. Like that, super tight, and just take your scissors and trim those ends. Then what you'll do is you can slide your lark's head knots so that they are even on the ball. So, and you can tighten them too once you get them in place. All right, so they're relatively evenly spaced. And you're going to start with your next set of knots, which is a square knot. You're going to take, looking at your 2 knots, your knots at the top, I suppose, you're going to take the bordering strings of 2 of the knots that are side by side. You're going to put the left string over the right string, like that. Then you're going to bring the right string through the hole and pull like that. Then, since we did left first, we're going to do right over left. Then your left string goes through. Okay, so then we do that with the next set. Next set of bordering knots, take each of their strings, left over right. Right goes through the loop, pull up to about 1 inch to match the other knot lengths, then go right over left, and left goes through the loop, and then pull up, make sure that your knots are pretty even, and then pull it tight. So you're going to keep repeating that with this one I'm going to tighten up a little bit more. With the first row of knots. Almost done, there's about 3 more to go, and then we'll start the next set of knots. Now we're going to start our second row of knots. So it's exactly the same process. You're going to take the neighboring of the 2 knots, the neighboring strings, and you're going to start the same process here. So left over right, right over left, tying square knots, and then trying to make the spaces as even as possible. And that's going to give you this pattern of these different openings and knots, kind of look like a diamond pattern. So we'll start with this one here, just taking our left again over our right. Our right goes through the loop. You can decide here how big you want your next gap to be. I'm going to do it about there. So I did left over right, so I'm going to go right over left and through. Okay, so see how you have now a diamond there in the middle? So you're going to repeat that with your next set of knots. So your second row of knots are done. You can see that you have like this diamond pattern forming all the way around. So you can decide what you want to do here. You can do another row of knots, or you can finish it off. I think I'm going to do one more row of knots. Show you how to finish it off. You're going to cut one more length of string that is 12 inches long. And you're going to pull your macrame down tight so that it stretches out over your ball so you can really see your design. Then you're going to wrap the string you just cut around it, nice and tight, like that. You're going to tie it off, nice and tight. And I like to leave the length of string so then I can cut them all even and you don't have strings sticking out from your ends of your knots. So then, depending on how long you want your tail to be, you'll just trim your macrame. So I'm going to go down just a couple of inches. Like that. And your first one is done. For the second part of our macrame tutorial, we're going to color our bulbs using some paint first. So I really like using folk art paint from Michaels for this because it coats really well. I did some of these last year, and the ones that weren't folk art, the paint slipped. So after a handful of months in a box, there were areas where the paint wasn't sticking anymore. And you want it to be fresh. So if you have a really old bottle of paint and you think about using that, I wouldn't, because it won't stick as well also. So folk art is great, and use it as fresh as possible. Use a bottle that's as fresh as possible for this. So all you're going to do is take your top off and be super generous with how much paint you put in there. If you can't find the right color of ornaments for your Christmas tree, or you have like a color palette in mind that you just keep thinking about but you can't bring it to life with what you're finding in the stores, this is the perfect way to make completely custom ornaments in whatever color palette you're wanting to decorate with. So you just fill it with the paint and shake it. We're getting really close. So I just shook it around until it's completely coated. Then you're not going to put the lid on yet. You're going to let them dry overnight. And every couple of hours or so, you'll want to tilt it so that any wet paint that's in there is moved around. It's not all just on one area, and then they'll be ready to go. We're gonna get back out our macrame cord and our measuring tape. This time we're going to need 14 lengths of cord that are 24 inches. We're going to take one of them, and you start just the same way that we started our first project with a lark's head knot, which is just laying your cord over, tucking it underneath and through, and then pull, push them together, pull. We're going to do that with all the rest of the 24-inch pieces that we cut. So once you're finished with this, we're going to take our ornament and squeeze all of your knots together and then tie it around the top of your ornament. Just tie a super tight knot to secure it. Trim off the edges of the piece that you tied. Okay, once that's secure, you can kind of squish all of the pieces around if they're not evenly dispersed around the bowl, like that. And then all you're going to do for this one is really similar to how we finished the last one, but there's no knot tying or anything because we want kind of a striped design. So now you're going to take another piece of string. It can be really any length. This is probably around 24 inches. And you're going to hold the bottom of your ornament and you're going to finish it just like you did the first ornament, the knotted ornament. But what you want to do is go around and separate your lines before you tie them off. You can also adjust them a little bit after, but it's just to make sure that they're spaced how you'd like them, because it'll be easier to do it now than after you tie it. So I'm going to space all those out. Then you're going to take your piece of string that you cut, wrap it around a few times, and then tie it off. Then, now that it's secure, you can go through and straighten out all of your lines. Again, just to make sure you like how it looks. Then you'll take your scissors and trim the tail to whatever length you'd like. And there you have a striped ornament, and I really like doing this method with the paint shake because you get more of a striped result where you can really make out the stripes. But you can also do this over a clear ornament too if you'd like. It's super fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made these ornaments, will you please share them on social media so we can see and reshare? You can find us on every social platform at Pretty Life Girls, and you can find our blog at prettylifegirls.com. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!